What is going on, fellas, and welcome back to Hungry for Success with me, FoggyPlays, on FM21. Today we're taking on Honved in the opening game of the league season, and we're going to take on HJK in the second leg to see if we can make it into the group stage yet again in the Champions League. If you missed yesterday's episode, then you won't know all the transfers that we have done, which, somewhat important. But if you do want to enjoy this episode, do make sure to like and subscribe. It makes a massive difference to the channel. Now let's get into the video. Right, fellas, so Honved up first. As you can see, a couple of games have already been played. We're the late kickoff today. There's one player here that you probably wouldn't recognize, because I didn't recognize him when he popped up in our coach reports. This guy, ex-player for us. We had him for a season, played 6 times for our B team, sold him to Farvar, and suddenly he's become quite a decent player. So sometimes a player slips through the net and you don't realise it. But you live and you learn. Probably would never have gotten that good if he'd stayed with us, because we'd never have gotten any games. So we're going into this game. Like I said in the intro, if you missed the episode yesterday, then you won't know the transfers we've done. But we have been fairly busy. We'll just do a quick little pop-up on the, if it ever decides to work. Bring up, oh my god, why is it going so slow? Transfer history. As you can see, these are the players we signed, and these are the players that are no longer with the first team, be it either on loan or have sold or have been sold permanently. But we're going into this game expectant, I would say, to win this game. Why is right? So for the first game of the season, we are starting with Kranic in goal, Hernandez and Mayer as our wing backs, Medina and Neary in central defence. So the back five stays pretty much the same as last year. Palacio and Diaz continue in central midfield. Gilmer and Carlsberg as our wingers. Fuskas and Nunez continue up front. So no new signings in the first team. Palacio does get an opportunity to start the season to see if he can show me he's pretty decent at football. Christian Mark gets a place on the bench on his return. Anis Ben Said gets to sit on the bench as well after he's come back from his loan with Ferencvaros. And Zhang Yujin is sitting on the bench as well, because we have lots of players that are unregistered or injured. Players you're definitely going to be seeing a lot of this year. Mario Zigri he was out on loan at Osijek last season, I think it was. Yeah, it was out on loan at Osijek. Came back and he looks an absolute worldie. When he joined here, and I agreed to loan him out, I was like, maybe this was a bad idea. He's not an exceptional goal scorer. Like he played 20 games for Dinamo and never scored a goal. I was slightly worried that I'd made a boo-boo. He had a pretty good season with Osijek, so we'll see how it goes. We do have some players that I'm homing and hawing whether I want to keep. I think this year it's more kind of like if someone doesn't make it into the first team and they're in their 20s, they're gone. Like Cremosa, player pretty much happy to let go. There's some players then like Grodum who I'd like to keep, but at the same time, if we get money for like a decent amount of money for them, then I'd happily let them go. So we are expected to win the league this season. We're expected to qualify for the group stage of the Champions League. So obviously it's beat HJK, and that sounds easy. I'm not 100% sure that it's going to be as easy as I think, potentially. But yeah, the World Cup was played during the summer, and only one of our players made it any bit of distance. Most of them got knocked out in like the group stage or the first round. I think Diaz got to the quarterfinals with Mexico. Okay, Fuskas did put it in. I was going to say, if we didn't score from there, I would have been just a smidge annoyed, because that was scrappy to say the least in front of goal. Palacio doing quite well. I was actually looking, Nunez, or the guy we're playing as a striker today, he's for Chile, he plays as a central midfielder, and I feel like that's potentially where he's actually going to be playing. Like, he's more likely to be a midfielder than a striker, I think. Maybe has him as like a more of a box to box midfielder. Paul Paul Kalsberg with his first goal of the season. I honestly don't know what happened here. The ball just kind of kept floating in. Neary put it out to chipped it over to Mayer. Mayer headed across, and I assumed Fuskis was going to get on the end of it because his name popped up over his head, and then Kalsberg just popped up and boshed it in the back of the net. So it's going quite well. Gilmer with a free kick, and Medina headed over. It looked like the keeper got a touch to it, but he didn't. Gilmer with yet another corner. How was that off? Who was offside? Won't count. The referee's flag is up for offside. Fuskis is offside. So Medina got the header. Oh, Fuskis was. Oh, he hit Fuskis. That's what I thought. I thought the keeper got a hand to it. I was like, how can you say someone's offside when they're literally doing nothing? Speaking to the devil, Fuskis takes his shot straight at the goalkeeper. He did sign a new contract in the summer. Aranda scores against us. The guy who was a model citizen came in and complained like a month after arriving, and then just didn't get played because he wanted to leave. So not a model citizen anymore, by the way. Just to let you know. Kranjic. I think Kranjic is potentially the number one goalkeeper this season. I don't think there's as much of a question regarding goalkeeper. I think Kranjic is the one I'm going with. Perez can be the backup, and then the guy we signed from Sparta Prague, potentially third choice. I think he's the second, is the middle of the three age-wise, so he'd probably hope to be first choice, or at least a backup, but I don't see it happening. I am thinking we swap Nunes and Palacio. Just see what Nunes can do in central midfield, because the two of them not really playing great. Zhang. Yeah, I was going to call him Zhang because I'm going to keep forgetting his last name. Zhang is potentially probably going to get an opportunity in this game, because as I said, the strikers are struggling, and Kalsberg has just doubled his tally. Nobody came in for Kalsberg so far this summer, which is interesting because I don't think he signed a new contract. I think he's still on the like $6,000 a week. Yeah, he's still on the same contract he was on like 2 years ago. It's crazy because all these players in our first team, they're getting paid ridiculous money, and Kalsberg's just sitting there on $6,000 a week as like a star player. And I think he came to me once and said he wanted a new contract, and I was just like, you wanted to talk about something? And then he was like, oh, it's fine, don't worry about it. And he hasn't complained since. The man is an absolute legend. He's no longer a legend at the club though. He has been dropped to an icon. I'm not sure why, because he just came off one of his best seasons and they've downgraded him. Doesn't make sense, but it's fine. Maybe it's because he didn't play as many games. That's the only thing I can think of, is he played less games, so they're like, well, he's not as much of a legend as he used to be. But he's never played like every game in a season anyway. He's a little bit, not injury prone, but he's just a little bit not capable of playing all the time. Anis Ben Said is going to come on. We've swapped Diaz over to Mazzella. Ben Said had a pretty good season with Ferencváros last year when he went out on loan with them. So, interested to see how he gets on. This is the season now where I think a lot of players are going to have to step up if they want to stay in the first team. Nobody is guaranteed a start, except maybe Kalsberg. Kalsberg just seems to always play regardless of whether I want him to or not. We're going to bring Christian Mark on. I'd have Medina as just a central defender. Alright, well, Christian Mark is 6'6", 6'6", so he is going to be our right centre back, because that is the one we aim all our corners at. So we'll just see if he can get himself a cheeky little goal, because I think he had a pretty decent season at some point when he was with us. He scored a lot of a lot of goals, and we got 9 million for him. We got 9 million for him, and then he went away for 4 years and never played, and now he's back, and he's an emergency backup, and he's not expecting to play, which is just quite handy when a player is not expecting to be in the first team, not getting a huge amount of money, still getting paid more than some of our amazing players, but I'll take it. Right, we're going to be back in just a second for the HJK game. Should be, hopefully, it'll be a foregone conclusion that we're already going to win the game. Right, fellas, so we have arrived at the second leg against HJK. I did actually forget that it wasn't the playoff that we got into. It's the third qualifying round, so we still have to play another game after this. We did beat HJK 4-0 in the first leg, which was away from home, so we should be alright. But we're going to be taking on Başakşehir if we do win this tie. So yeah, we beat them 4-0. I got the right one. So beat them 4-0. Carlsberg scored. Fuskas got a brace. Gilmar also getting on the score sheet. And then against Meshkoved, our Chinese superstar, Zhang, scored a brace. And Gilmar and Fuskas both getting on the score sheet as well. We have had a few transfers out, not in. As it is right now, players that have left since the start of the episode. Roy Jensen's gone out on loan. Kovic has gone out on loan. Kremosta's gone out on loan. Lattenstein has gone to Fervar. They've just bought two of our potential decent centre backs for the future. Cabrera has gone out on loan to Kishvarda. I think he's gone again. Yeah, he was at Kishvarda for the second half of last season. He's gone to be their first choice goalkeeper. So that is more than fantastic. Daniel Kalmar has gone to Fortuna Dusseldorf. Shannon Davidson has gone to Sydney. And Grodum has left to go and play for Young Boys for 5.25 million. He did quite well while he was here, but he did want to leave, so he's gone to Young Boys. Wanted to play for a bigger club. Not so sure Young Boys is a bigger club, but more power to you. So we've made 30 million so far, spent a total of 9, and we're going into this game with a bunch of players that I actually haven't. Okay, so we're going to pick the team together. Because I don't think that's the team I want to start, but we're going to start with Kranjic in goal. Right back is going to continue to be Hernandez. Left back can be Mayer, because Mayer's our best. Left back Medina and Neri at centre back. Mazzella, we're going to put Kouassi, because he's quite good. We're going to have Ben Said at the box-to-box, because he played in the last game and he was quite good. Gilmer's going to play at right wing. Carlsberg's going to start on the left. Up front, we're not going to start Zigri straight away because he's only just coming back from an injury. So we're going to put Zhang and Fuskas up front together. Perez is going to go on the bench. Zigri's getting to sit on the bench with Gitarik. And I'm going to pop Simon on the bench as well. Sorensen, you can go on the bench because Sorensen is pretty decent at the old midfield job that he does. O'Neill's not fit to be on the bench. Can't wait for him to come back because he is quite an important player. But we're going to put Palacios on the bench alongside him. So we actually technically have 3 strikers on the bench and 3 players that can play centre back. Okay, so everything is fantastic. No need to worry. We are 4-0 up from the first leg, which was away from home. So 4 away goals. Can't really complain. I'm going to tell lads to not get complacent, but I'm going to pump my fists at the same time afterwards and be like, I have faith in all of you to do fantastic. I'm not going to say anything at the start because if we do, we're just going to piss them off. Zhang almost scored from a corner. Not too shabby. Their goalkeeper's hoof didn't really work out. And Zhang, how do you miss? How did he miss? He was literally standing on the line and he missed. That is like Chupamoting levels of bad. That was so very bad. Gilmer dinks the keeper. Thank you very much, Gilmer. You fantastic individual. Alright, so it's 5-0. Don't have to worry too much about it. Actually, I was looking at this guy. Ant-Man. Oliver Ant-Man. I know it's probably like Ant-Man. Ant-Man. Ant-Man is playing against us. To be fair, they're being quite smart, playing a lot of like really kind of overloading the middle of the pitch, because that's generally where we play the most of the ball. Medina does get absolutely hacked, and I'm guessing Carlsberg is still our penalty taker. I don't check these things. Carlsberg steps up to take the penalty, and it's very easily stopped, and he can't get the ball back across afterwards. Goal line technology. Was it over the line? Obviously not. It never is. It never is. Hernandez looked like he was taking a throw from a corner, but how is Zhang offside? How? Flag it there rather than waiting. This is the Euros all over again. We're having plenty of opportunities, but we are absolutely shitting the bed. Bergstrom with the goal kick. Neary loses a header. Ant-Man. Oh, Kranic is there to take the ball away from Ant-Man. Beautiful ball forward from Kranic. Fuskis back at the net. 5th of the season. Kranic with the assist. Still only 18. Kranic, 18-year-old Slovenian, under 21 international. Looks like he's about to play again in the Champions League group stage. But did I play him in the group stage last season? I don't remember if I did or not. Christian Perez has kind of fallen off. Oh, get in just before halftime. There's no plus up here. Are we not playing at a time? That's fine. We are. Oh no, we are not. We're playing 2 minutes. So it's 3-0 currently. Gilmer, Zhang absolutely balloons that wide. Yeah, keep it going, lads. Carlsberg's only playing a 6, but he did miss a penalty. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Zigri is definitely going to be coming on at some point, and I think you know which striker is going to be coming off for him. I can't believe Zhang missed from so close. He does actually put this one in, so that's something, I guess. I can't believe. I'm still in shock that he missed. He missed from so close. I apologise for being loud there, but that was ridiculous. I can't believe you missed that. We're 8-0 up on aggregate. We should probably take some players off to rest. We should rest some players probably. Kranic with the goal kick. Somebody lost in the header, and Heino absolutely rockets that one wide. Yeah, we're going to make a couple of changes. Carlsberg's not having a great game, so we're going to move Gilmer over to that side. Carlsberg can come off. We move Zhang to right wing. We're going to bring on Degree, who he's, according to this, he can do it. We're going to bring Simon on to play at centre back. So Katarek is going to have to spend a little longer on the bench. Has a 17-year-old coming on instead of him, purely because we have the advantage. Kranic is like, oh, how did I miss that? But it's offside. They were cheating. It would have been a really well executed free kick, apart from the fact that it wasn't at all. So we're going to chuck a bit of praise at the lads because they're doing quite well. We're going to make our final substitution. I think we are going to take off Ben Said and bring on Johansson. Johansson hasn't had, as I said, hasn't had a chance so far this year. Struggled to get opportunities last year. It'd be nice to give him a small run in the team. So this, unless we concede 8 goals in 3 minutes, which, even FM standards, I think that's maybe a little bit too much. Okay, now they need to score 9 in 3 minutes, because Fuskis puts the ball in the back of the net. We're going to be playing Başakşehir in the next episode. 5-0 on the night, 9-0 on aggregate. I think it's fair to say we won this game pretty comfortably, even with one of our best players not really doing all that well. Carlsberg struggled quite a bit. Not sure why. He did have a game off against Meshkved. I didn't play him, so maybe he's just needs a little bit of playing. Zigri did make his debut for the club. We're taking on Başakşehir. Fuskas gets a hat-trick. It's quite fantastic. When are we taking on Başakşehir? I think we do both legs of the Başakşehir game. Also, we drew the same team we played last year in the Hungarian Cup. So, 6-0 last year. Can we do better than 6-0 again? So next episode is going to be the 2 games against Başakşehir. I think we've played them previously as well. I remember, we played them in a friendly, and last year we played them in the first knockout round of the Europa League, and we smashed them 6-2 on aggregate. So you'd expect us to do pretty decent against them. So that being said, if you have enjoyed this episode, do make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with all of your friends, and I will see you in the next one.